For millions of years, if humans wanted to have a drink, they would gather some water from generally a river, look for a nice clean one, and then drink it. And that's how it was for all time, until relatively recently, when we suddenly think that if you want to drink water, you need to either go to shop and buy a bottle. I forgot my demonstration bottle for this purpose, but luckily I found an abandoned one, as you can find everywhere. So you either buy water from a shop, or if you're a good eco-friendly guy, you fill it up and put it in a bottle from your tap at home. But what we don't do anymore is go down to the river, fill up a cup, and have a drink. And there's a couple of things at play here. The first is a real disconnection from nature, that we kind of forget that the water we drink at some point comes from a river. And the second is a shifting baseline, which means that over the generations, little by little by little, we've moved from thinking it's perfectly normal to drink water from natural sources to now thinking, ugh, gross, I need to go buy some Lucasade or can of Monster. And so what I thought I would do is come down to my local river and have a drink of water. But not all rivers are naturally clean. For example, here, this is all brackish, muddy, estuary kind of water. I don't really want to drink it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk upstream until I'm beyond where the muddy natural sediment is, and see then if the water might be clean enough to have a drink. It is hot work, t-shirt weather in the manor, my friend, and I've reached a tributary in the river where a fairly big river joins onto my river. And so now, upstream of here, any problems and pollutions in my river are not the fault of this other river. So hopefully this is a good chunk towards it getting a fair whack cleaner. So the river now makes its way under this scary pigeon. Steve Backshaw, eat your heart out. Crocodile wrestler, scared of pigeons. All the particulates, the pollution, the rubbish, the bits of junk get washed downstream, which hopefully means that upstream my river's cleaner and gets me closer to having my increasingly much needed drink of water. Beyond the dual carriageway now, I can see the edge of my first town just up ahead, and I'm going to test the water quality this side of the town and then upstream of it as well to see what difference it makes. It's quite nice here, some quite nice flats. There's some bloke out on his balcony sunning himself. Haven't you got a job to do? These people are messing around on a Monday morning. Right, let's read the instructions. Instruction manual, HI 98129981130. I think this is the point where the video should go cut, and then we'll jump forward, probably an alarming amount of time, until I actually have some results. Here we go.
Here's the summary of your river's water quality. Your river's water quality appears to be generally good, but there are signs of nutrient pollution, especially from nitrates and phosphates. This could lead to issues like algae blooms if not addressed. Regular monitoring and investigating potential sources of these nutrients, such as agricultural runoff or wastewater discharge, is recommended to maintain and improve the water quality.
Thanks, dude. So there we have it, straight from the robot's mouth. Let's keep heading upstream. I'm getting really thirsty. Here is the first sewage pumping station that I've spotted so far today. I'm upstream of the sewage. It's getting good. Right, I've got to get through town, out the other side, find the river again. But good thing about following a river like this, rather than Ed Stafford following the Amazon or something exhausting like that, is that here I can hopefully forage for some lunch in the cafe. Some very successful urban foraging, armed Raymere survival style with my delicious vegan Magnum, and I've walked through the town park. It's quite nice. People out in the sunshine, little kids playing in the water features. This sort of boardwalk thing with a kind of weird CCTV camera over the river. So let me talk to my camera, watch by that camera. Very 21st century. I've certainly wallowed and swum in worse places. I'm upstream of the town now, so just going to try and find a place to test. And my thinking was, oh good, we're upstream of the town, therefore the water must be much clearer. But there's a couple of problems with my thinking here. The first is a shifting baseline, I guess. Why should it be that our towns definitely lead to dirty rivers? That's a fixable problem. It shouldn't matter if I was downstream of the town. And the second thing is, towns are not the only problem with river pollution. In fact, they're not even the major pollution factor, because now I'm heading up into farmland, and mismanaged farmland is the biggest polluter of our rivers. So I'm going to test the water now, find a nice spot, and see if I can have my drink yet. This is always one of my favourite bits of this river, from the really nice, tranquil countryside, albeit with a roar of traffic, and then suddenly the traffic is explained in all its enormity, because look, under a massive bridge going under the motorway, which always has fantastic and ever-changing graffiti. Just going to fill up my cup of water, then we'll do some tests. Cheers. Here we go. See if I can do this without reading the instructions, like a science genius. 7.93, same as before. Temperature is 18 degrees, same as before. Well, that's not very exciting, is it? Next test is nitrates. It's poo and fertilizer. Nitrate levels, parts per million. Time then to ask my resident water expert, ChatGPT, the results. Don't worry, I will ask someone who's actually a human later, but for now this knows a heck of a lot more than me.
Of course, jag beskriver kan jag dig.
What language?
The water quality of your river is generally good, but shows signs of nutrient pollution, particularly from nitrates and phosphates.
Thanks, ChatGPT. The river quality seems to be improving, it's pretty decent, it's a bit alkaline, it's a chalk stream, it's not too bad, but a few worries about nutrient pollution. So I think I need to keep heading upstream before I get my fresh drink of water. This is really nice now, the path just leading up through these shady and sunny grass meadows, right up on the limits here of what was the map that I spent a year exploring and writing about. So soon I'm going to be into terra incognita, unknown land. Some sort of dodgy looking pipe thing there. Can't honestly pretend I know what it is, but I'm not sure I like big pipes sticking out into rivers, so hopefully it gets a bit cleaner now I'm upstream of here. The river's really shallow here, and this is one of the biggest problems of our rivers at the moment. Not just the water companies polluting the rivers, but them extracting so much water that there's not enough left for wildlife to thrive. Graffitiing of trees. Wow, it's a new thing for me. The river's running up through farmland now, and farmland, if it's not done carefully and properly, can leach fertilizers, chemicals, polluting the river. It seems that this river is lucky to be not heading through an area of intensive cattle and gigantic chicken sheds, and the manure from those are just absolutely disastrous for the health of rivers. I think it's time to test the water again. walk to a field, turn around, walk back again. So Al, can you give us your CV please? Yeah, I'm very good at walking through a field, turning around, walking back through the field. Gosh.
The river water quality appears good for both drinking and swimming.
This is good news. I've got myself a clean and lovely river. In fact, I think I'm going to toast a celebration with a drink of my river. Cheers. Oh, very nice. This is a good river for dipping in, and hopefully not going to kill me with a drink. Out of curiosity though, I'm going to carry on upstream, see what else I can find. Look, can you see there? A gorilla. The lesser spotted, south of England, gorilla. At this point, the river heads unseen, unnoticed, and pleasingly undisturbed beneath this motorway bridge. This is really great. I confess that I've never been here before. I've been to the McDonald's drive-through right on the road that I can see here, but never actually stepped away from that into these water meadows. Right, I can't resist anymore. Time for a dip. I'm always a sucker for a dip in a nice, clean, fresh chalk stream within dashing distance, earshot, even, who knows, a bare-butted sight of a massive motorway traffic jam. I feel so good now after that swim. I'm enthusiastic. Uh-oh, bog alert. Oh man. It's a boggy looking bog. Oh no, wet trainers! Ah! Sorry about that, that's a bit pathetic. Yeah, apart from my wet trainers, I'm feeling so good now after that swim. Heading on up towards the source, but first, it's time for a little detour for a wee bit of a Bear Grylls, Ray Mears style survival foraging. Time for lunch. I'm having to wiggle my way through town, but found the river again, and here it is. Have you caught anything?
I got snagged a couple of times.
A traffic cone. My mission to follow my river to the source now involves me not being by a river at all, but I'm relying on the twinned genius of the GPS on my phone and my Ordnance Survey map. I tell you what though, I do enjoy a gentle trespass through the woods. Definitely livens up my ouch weekdays. Oh, this, now look at this. This is fantastic. I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park, and as I say that, look, there's a load of deer through there. It suddenly felt wilder to me. You saw about 10 deer run across there. Amazing. Oh, and look here, these patches of squash grass where the deer were lying and resting just before I arrived. This way. Here! This is it! I've done it! My map declares I'm at the spring, at the source of a little stream. I declare that I'm standing in a squidgy little bog, and here I am at the foot of an oak tree. The river of the oak tree. That's quite cool, isn't it? Here I am. Well, this has been fantastic, and I've absolutely loved it for a few reasons. I set out in what feels like a different universe to try to see when I could get a drink of water from my river. And it's been a fascinating trip because it reminded me of how important it is to keep shouting and campaigning to get our rivers cleaned up and to hold water companies and agricultural businesses to account to sort all that out. At the same time, however, it's also been a lovely reminder that there are so many beautiful places to go and explore, to have a dip, to have a swim, to have a paddle, to really love and cherish and enjoy our rivers. And thirdly, the classic reason for any arbitrary little microadventure is it takes you new places. It encourages you to just get out and go places you've never been. And look at me now, I found this cool little gladed bit of woodland, some deer running by. I've never been here in my life. This is fantastic. It is, as is nearly always the case with every adventure, a spectacularly anticlimactic ending. But that's not the point, is it? This is the point. The river of the oak tree. Fantastic.